Center for Spiritual Living, Leesburg. The theme for this year is Living Everyday Wonder. And our theme for this month is creativity. The title of our talk today is Reveal, Release, Rise, and Repeat. And it will be given by our wonderful spiritual director, Charlene Banks. Today is a special day for people of Christian, Jewish, and Muslim faiths. So if one of these is part of your day today, we wish you a happy Easter, a happy Passover, and Ramadan Kareem. We're so glad that you joined us here today. Please feel free to add to the chat or in the comments section any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like us to include later in our service when we have our spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. We invite you now to sit back, get comfortable, relax in this moment as we officially kick off our service for today. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
And so it is. Welcome to Easter morning, everyone. I'm so glad that you've joined us today, no matter whether you're in your home, in your car, you're listening to a recording later. Welcome. And this morning, in honor of all the different traditions converging together on this auspicious weekend, the Ramadan, Passover, Easter Sunday, as well as Earth Day coming up, even Tax Day tomorrow, I would just like to welcome you to this breathing experience. And this is going to be a belly breathing experience. If you've ever seen a baby breathing in and out, their little bellies go in and out. Why? Because they know yoga. Babies are born knowing yoga. The whole body-mind connection. What happens when we expand our diaphragm instead of our lungs as we take in breath? So many healing things happen to our bodies, which I'll tell you more about during the talk. But for now, let's go together. And before I start the gongs, I'd like you just, if you feel comfortable, place a hand on your chest and then one on your belly. Remove any, or unrestrict, if you have any tight Spanx or something on, just let that go. loosen your belt. And then as we breathe, I'd like you to notice whether your chest is going up and down or whether your diaphragm, your belly, is going in or out. And concentrate, just try and get your lower hand, the one that's on your belly, to be the one doing all the in and out work. Okay, let's go. So this breathing exercise is a relaxation technique that will call forth from within each and every one of our innate healing, relaxation, bodily functions. So we close our eyes and with our in breath, counting to a 4 count in breath. As we expand our diaphragm, we'll hold it there for 2 counts, and then we'll exhale for 8 and hold it there for 2 counts. I'll count you through the first couple times. Breathing through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2. Exhale through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should be empty. Hold it. Now in with the nose for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it for 2. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. Keep going. Finish up that last round. now just breathe normally, the way you normally do without thinking about it. And I want you to just do a body scan. You can rest your hands in your lap and just do a quick body scan and feel the relaxation that your body has started to do, just with that extended breathing. Feel how your body has just allowed all of the healing functions to begin. All the cell regeneration that comes with deep breathing, that comes with relaxation, that comes with releasing the fight or flight stress response to the daily inundation of the news and the media and the worries and just feel how relaxing our bodies has allowed us to just take a break. And with this newfound sense of deep relaxation, knowing that we can return to it at any time, I call us forward to just include in our mind's eye any area in our lives that would benefit from a little extra love, a little extra forgiveness. Just holding that space for whatever is ailing in your life right now. Knowing that all is well. We are right where we are meant to be. And the divine perfection is unfolding right here and right now. And just knowing that this is beautifully done and that all is well, I simply release this energy into the law, just saying, thank you, God. Amen. Whew. And now it's time for some soul pajamas. Hey, guys.
All the earth is sacred. Every sandy shore, each golden leaf and rich forest floor, we come together on common ground, setting our fears aside. We gather round, we live in peace. When finally we found, we share a holy common ground. One sky overhead, one sky above us, one earth at our feet, sacred ground, prosperous land, so honey sweet. We come together on common ground, setting our fears aside. We gather round, we live in peace. When finally we're found, we share a holy common ground. other's eye. We see a heaven on earth, and we'd realize that we'll live in peace when finally we found we share a holy common ground. We share a holy common ground.
Happy Mother Earth Day.
Oh, that is beautiful. Yes, happy Mother Earth Day. We do share a common Mother Earth ground, don't we? Thank you, Aaron and Dan. You guys are so harmonious. Fabulous. So, Easter. Happy Easter. Now, how many of you think that Easter is all about that bunny? Isn't he cute? So, the bunny with the egg. So, listen, that bunny had to have stolen those eggs. I think we have a problem here. Like, hello? Anybody think about that? But it turns out that the whole bunny thing is because bunnies recreate very quickly, as we know. And the tradition of eggs came from Germany, where they had, there's a German name for this, but the eggs would represent the releasing of, Lent season, 40 days of giving up something. Well, the egg usually is something that people would give up for reasons that maybe it was luxurious to have eggs. So the Easter season was the end of Lent and the joyous celebration of, yay, we can eat eggs. And then they colored them, not only so they could find them, but they would place them in little nests, little fake nests all around, and people would find them. Now that has evolved to an Easter basket, right? You've got your grass in the basket, like a nest, and then little eggs, and then it's expanded from eggs to candy. And eggs plus candy, I don't know, I like it. I'm here for the tradition, and if I get to eat candy, yes, please. But, is that really what Easter is about? Maybe not. Maybe it's the secular approach that allows us to have festivities without really naming what it's supposed to be about. Because what it's really about, and I know you guys have heard the story 100 times, so I will give you the high points. Jesus had a really busy week from Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday. I'm sure you've heard what happened, but what happened was he came in on the donkey on Palm Sunday, and everybody was like, woo, woohoo, woohoo, we love you. By Friday, they were like, kill him, string him up, put him up on the cross. So what happened in between? Judgment, betrayal, and lots of other little things. Now, this individual, we as a teaching don't think of Jesus as the great exception. And, Jesus died on the cross, so we're good. Right? He did all the things, and now all we have to do is take his name in our mouth, just take his name and say his name, and everything's fine. Well, our tradition, our teaching, starting with Ernest Holmes and even before all New Thought, we say, all right, Jesus the Christ is a great example. We don't just take what he said and say his name in our mouth. We also we reenact the Messiah within. The Messiah, the anointed one, the Christ, that is indwelling in each and every one of us. That which Jesus did and what Jesus said, all the red letters in the Bible, all the red words, everything I'm doing, you can do too. That which I did, more. You can even do more. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It's at hand now. All those words that Jesus said, those words are telling us that he is not the great exception. We each are the child of the divine. God, so-called God, is all of our fathers because we are all the child of the divine. If you just really look, that's what Jesus was really saying. And as I study Gnosticism, the more I know, the more I can't unsee, because it's just so interesting how a lot of those self-empowering words were removed from the final New Testament. At the Council of Nicaea, they all said, meh. They probably said, I'm going to put words in their mouth. Ooh, no, this is too empowering. Take that out. What? They're going to know that they too are divine? Nope, take that out. We don't want people to feel as empowered. We don't want that, because then how are we going to control the masses? Right? So let's just teach them a little dependency and just, yeah, let's do that. And I feel like the Bible itself can be used to do anything. You could find a verse to support any position that you want. But if you just look at the Gnostic gospel, the Dead Sea Scrolls, all of the actual practices and teachings, they start to agree that we are not meant to sit back and just point to some cross and say, thanks, dude, that was awesome. And all we have to do is, I feel like it's calling us to be more. And that's what this teaching is. So we don't teach the traditional Christ, but we do talk about every single one of the things that Jesus stood for. For example, the betrayal. I mean, in our lives, don't we have people who are consistently betraying us? If they're not a public figure and running some political organization that we swear is out to get us, then it's some friend who betrayed our confidence. And so, isn't it true that even when Jesus knew that Judas was going to do that foul thing that Judas was going to do, Jesus still kissed him, or allowed Judas to kiss him, still blessed him? And because how are you going to be reborn if you don't die? Just a question. How's it going to happen? Don't we need someone to play that role so that we can overcome something? So we can't get mad at the person that's just doing their job. The second thing, crucifixion, right? You've got crucifixion. There's a cross. And there's always something, this symbol that we could get stuck on. Now, what does your crucifixion look like? Is it the traditional cross with the wood that we see, and it's everywhere, right? It's got the drape on it. Well, there's a spiritual meaning to this kind of symbol, because you've got one vertical and one horizontal. And so what it's meant to be, and the Ankh does it better. The Ankh is a spiritual representation of a cross, but it's not being used to, this is what Jesus died on. No, this Ankh represents, you've got your vertical from above to below, you are connected with the divine, and there's also the horizontal, which it looks like it crosses it, but notice it's all one. And so anyway, the idea of a cross is not new. It's just that people can get caught up on the cross. And I feel like if Jesus came back, he would look at everybody wearing his likeness strung up on a cross. And I've said this before, you guys. He would say, dude, I had one bad day. And y'all just, can we get, there was the whole tomb thing, and I did rise out of the tomb. You don't have pictures of that. Where's that part? Why are we hung up on the cross thing? And I feel like he would be a little bit, I wouldn't want people remembering that day that I slipped and fell and just have pictures of me falling everywhere. That's just not the point. So what is the tomb then? We know that he was buried in a tomb after they took him down off the cross after killing him. So this tomb, Now in this picture, the tomb, the stone, the big huge stone, was rolled to the side. And when Mary Magdalene and the other women who came to anoint his body with oil and to treat his body, they came into the tomb. First of all, they were like, wait, how is it open? What happened? And then his body wasn't there. And then they saw his likeness. They saw him. But many of us believe that they saw his apparition. People can see those who've passed over. Anyway, the point is that tomb can also be seen as a womb. Because think about it. It's dark. And it is usually where you go, where you put dead things. But isn't a tomb, the darkness of the tomb, isn't that just like the darkness of a womb from which things are gestated and from where things grow? Think about it. Every seed has to go, I guess with some exceptions, but most seeds go into a dark soil. And in that soil, there is no light, but there's nutrition, there's nutrients, there's nourishment that happens that causes what's inside that seed to sprout out and become what it is. But without that darkness and without that lack of light, that womb, that could not have, the seed couldn't have come forth. I think about babies all the time. They're in the womb and that's all they know. And then something happens and then they birth forth into this world. So that burial, that thing that happens in the tomb, it's more like a womb. It's for us. It's not against us. And then the final thing is the resurrection. Obviously, the resurrection, when Jesus, sort of came back to life, as it were. And that's just an example of it. There's a picture I found online that just kind of looked like the light coming in from above and just kind of rising up. And so the talk of today's, the title of today's talk is, reveal, release, and rise, and repeat. And so if we look at these three kind of stages, these are the how it looks as you and I, we're trying to change our thinking and change our entire lives. We're trying to let the Messiah within, the Christ within, have its way. What does that look like? Well, we know that the tomb is the womb. And we reveal. So when we're in the midst of something, we want to reveal the truth. And it's hard to do if we don't get still. And that's why I took us through the relaxation exercise, because I'm taking a class. And every class I have, I kind of use the material with you guys so I can learn it even better. This one, the worry solution, and the teacher, he's our actual teacher of the class. He wrote this book. So his name is Dr. Rossman. And this part really got to me. I'm going to read this to you because it ties in to a talk we did last month. So he talks about why people might not want to relax and what that could come from. Well, you could, if you don't want to relax, your life could look like this. You fill your schedule so that you're always running late. You bite off more than you can chew on a regular basis so that normal activities become frantic. You exaggerate the consequences of not getting everything done, bringing a sense of competition to everything you do, and constantly strive to not only be the best, but perfect. Take everything personally. Keep a news channel playing in the background whenever you are awake. Oh, and consider leaving it on at night while you are trying to sleep. Always imagine the worst outcome of every situation. The worst. That should give you an ample supply of adrenaline. Those things, absolutely. Until, of course, your adrenal glands get exhausted and you mentally or physically break down. So I thought about that. I was like, are we addicted? Some of us, the reason we can't relax or won't, are we addicted to adrenaline? Now, in this whole class, he teaches us how the adrenaline response, the fight or flight response from your reptilian brain, it's there on purpose. And I'm getting to a point here and I'll move on, but he said that if there is a little bunny, not the Easter type, but the actual bunny who's in the woods and hears something like a crack of a twig, that bunny, fight or flight, will kick in and he's like, all right, I'm going to freeze. Because predators are trained to chase things that are moving. Now, if you're not moving, maybe they won't see you. Maybe you can blend in with that grass or those leaves and they'll leave. And so what happens when we're fight or flight? shallow breathing. You're not going to do your deep, heavy, because you're going to be moving too much. So you shallow. And you're just waiting, hoping they don't see you. Now I have to tell you, if you're like me and you do build your schedule up, keeping it a little too full, I'm getting better. Or if you do catastrophize in your mind about the consequences of not getting some paper in on time or not getting something done, then my reptilian brain is kicking in. It's stressed out. I'm going with fight or flight. I'm shallow breathing. My cortisol is high. My body would love to heal itself, but if I can't relax and rest, then those hormones are not going to be released, the ones that heal me. Only the adrenaline ones are being released. And so if you look at the author gives us lots of stories about how people who have undergone a lot of stress, about a year later, they're typically sick with something. Or, had a heart attack, stroke, something is going to happen because the body is not meant to go through this. Now, this bunny in the forest has frozen and is doing shallow breathing. And then the threat passes and the bunnies shake it off, hop along. And even older, like he talked about prehistoric humans, even the ones who there was a saber-toothed tiger, so I froze, and then he left. He'll come, you'll come back to the cave and talk about it with your friends, and they'll be like, oh my gosh. But typically you'll go to sleep and you'll relax. And if you bring it up a lot more, your friends are going to be like, yeah, dude, we already talked about that. Like we don't need to keep being in a stress response. So what does that have to do with this talk? Well, if we are going to reveal the truth about ourselves and that we are divine, we are the Messiah embodied, we are the Christ within, we have the Christ within. If we are going to reveal that, we can't do it if we don't give ourselves that space, that time, relax, in that we can create our own little womb of renewal so that we can emerge into whatever is coming. But how are we going to have a resurrection if we don't die to the things that we no longer need in our lives, if we don't stop chasing the stress experience? So between this tomb and the resurrection, we know that we had this thing called release. And in the story of the Christ, he's hanging on that cross saying, forgive them. They know not what they do. He is forgiving, and that is the biggest part of release. Release is forgiveness, and typically it's ourselves that we need to forgive. And so Jesus says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And in that moment, he allowed himself to be in the experience. He was not looking for a scapegoat and thinking of himself as a victim. When he said, Father, forgive them, he was not suffering because he wasn't resisting. So we release and we don't resist. The message we get from that is, don't resist what is happening right now. And finally, the rising, resurrection, a new life. There can be no resurrection without death, as I mentioned before. But he was the great example, and Easter's a time to look at ourselves and contemplate, where is that divinity in us? Have I lost touch with it? And what is our own innate divinity? I was going to say godhood, but that's weird. So divinity is what I want to say, because there are new beginnings right around the corner. So this whole season, spring, the rising up of new life, whether it's bunnies, eggs, whole resurrection, maybe it's just spring blossoming forth on every single tree and flower and bud, and really just allowing the old to die away and the new to reemerge as us. So the bottom line of the whole Easter story, my friends, you are divine. No matter what you've thought of yourself, no matter what you've done in your life, you are divine. No matter what opinions other people have had of you, no matter how you've crucified yourself, you are an emanation of the divine, and there's nothing else like you, no other being like you. So we celebrate that today. I'll just take us into prayer. I just know that within each and every one of us, we are right where we need to be, and we've got the divine. We've got that Christ within that is awakening every single day, awakening to its magnificence, awakening to its true purpose and true meaning in our lives. And I just know that every single one of us on our spiritual journey, we rely on one another and on our inner guide to take us to exactly what we need in this moment. I speak my word for any of us that are drawn to stress-inducing factors, that we release that. And we allow ourselves the quiet time to relax. Using our breathing or imagery or even full body scan with muscle relaxation, any method that we can get to take us to that level of relaxation so that the divine can let itself be known as us. So we can understand what is ours to release and what is ours to embrace. And then just knowing that we already have within us what we need. And so we go into that womb of quiet solitude and we allow the seeds to germinate within us. And we creatively explore whatever's next for us to do. And I know that it is going to be divine because it's already done. It's already done in the mind of the divine. And so I'm just grateful. I give great gratitude for each and every one of us. Just knowing that only the highest and the best is attracted to ourselves right now. I release my word, letting it go, knowing that all is well. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. And the Soul Pajamas is back. Oh, are they muted? Ah, there you go.
Are you ready to dry up your tears? Are you ready? Say goodbye to your fears. Rev it up, shifting gears, higher and higher till morning appears. Are you ready to come out and play? Are you ready to seize a brand new day? Live it up, don't delay. Magic and mystery and more on the way. Now, my friend, now is the time for beginning. Choose again, releasing the need to know exactly how it will go when I'm ready. Really, 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 really ready. Ba-ba. Diddle, biddle, 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 diddle, biddle, ba-ba-doo, ba-ba-doo, diddle, biddle, 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 do biddle, biddle, weed up, biddle, 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 ba-da-dum, dee-dum. I'm ready to make a new start. Creating my world is a work of art. Make it up, play a part. Stars on my ceiling and joy in my heart.
right now is the time for beginning. Choose again, releasing the need to know exactly how it will go. I'm ready to make a new start. Creating my world is a work of art. Make it up, break apart. Stars on my ceiling and joy. Stars on my ceiling and joy. Stars on my ceiling and joy. In my heart, yes, in my heart. Are you ready? Tell me, baby. Tell me, are you ready now? Are you ready? Tell me, baby. Tell me, are you ready now? Are you ready? Tell me, baby. Tell me, are you ready? Are you ready? Tell me, baby. Tell me, are you ready now?
Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you, Soul Pajamas. Thank you so much, Charlene. Now is the time to bless the donations that are shared today. At CSL Leesburg, we believe in the law of circulation, so we are a tithing community. The donations that are shared with our center bless everyone, those who give and those who receive. Your donation helps our center, our home office, as well as organizations that support our vision of creating a world that works for everyone. Please look at the screen. There's so many ways that you can make a donation. It's easy to find something that works just for you. We thank you so much for your support. Now, no matter how you're giving, just take that gift either physically or just mentally, place it over your heart and join me in our blessing of our gifts. The presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. And now it's time for announcements. All right, folks, if you like what you saw today and heard today, you can join us midweek on Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock. Join Charlene and friends as they explore their dreams. Guys, I got to tell you, I had a dream last night, and the first time I had a text message that was in my dream. And I thought, this is the world that we live in now, where all of a sudden we're getting text messages in our dreams. So if you have something that's exciting that's happening in your dreams and you want to share with Charlene and her friends, please join them on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. And then on Wednesdays, in honor of our monthly focus this month, we're focusing on creativity. Join us on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. We're getting together and we're just kind of brainstorming and letting those creative juices flow. And this week, we're going to be talking about out and about activities. So that's kind of exciting to talk about. Where can we go? What can we do to get together and celebrate in person? So please join us on Wednesday at 7 if you have some ideas about that. And now it's time that we end our sacred service together today. Please, once again, place your hands over your heart and join me in saying, I am love.
I'm love.
You know what I'm waiting for. And now look at somebody who's in the room with you. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a little furry companion, maybe it's just the folks on the screen, but just send that message out to others. You are love.
You are love.
Love.
Thank you. I felt that. And now put your hands up in the air and join me with our love sprinkles, because it's all love.
It's all
All love.
It is all love. If you can stay, join us. We do our pearls. That's when we talk about parts of the service that really resonated with our spirit. If you can't, if you have things that are planned for today, maybe you have a lot of special things on your calendar for today. If you can't join us, then we send you off with our blessings. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Easter, happy Passover, Ramadan Kareem. Woo, it's spring. Enjoy your day.